Hi, everybody. Good Friday evening, and welcome to Strake Jesuit in not downtown Houston. I guess it's southwest Houston. This is Vype, LCISD.com, presented by Texan Hyundai, and we're here to bring you an important district baseball battle between the Strake Jesuit Crusaders, who are ranked pretty highly in state baseball, and also your George Ranch Longhorns, who are a quality team, but the score didn't show it from the matchup between these two teams on Tuesday, as George Ranch went down to a 13-2 defeat. A lot of teams have been soundly thrashed by Strake Jesuit this year, but George Ranch is looking to even the score and climb into, I guess they'd be in first place if they can win this game, because they would be, no, never mind, they wouldn't be. If they win this one tonight, then George Ranch would be at 2-2 in district play. But they would give Strake Jesuit its first loss in its last 10 outings, and also would just, they are right now, the Strake Jesuit Crusaders are the bullies in district play, and therefore George Ranch has to be the one to step forward and punch them in the mouth. Whatever happens after that, and of course I am talking figuratively. I'm Roger Smith, glad to have you with us. Also wonderful to have Rosie Vega inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters, and she will be making sure everything sounds as it should. We're getting ready for a 6 p.m. start, but first, the Batter Up Show, and we'll also have the Texan Hyundai keys to the game before we get the first pitch tonight. All right, our coverage, as always, not only brought to you by Texan Hyundai, but also Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, as well as Republic Harley-Davidson of Stafford, and by the Above All Roofing Company. We'll be back and visit with Greg Cobbs, head coach of your George Ranch Longhorns, when we return on Vype, LCISD.com.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Batter Up Show on Vype, LCISD.com, presented by Texan Hyundai, and it's time to visit with Greg Cobbs, whose George Ranch Longhorns are going to be taking on the very tough Strake Jesuit Crusaders for the second time this week. I know it might be a little difficult, but if you would kind of describe the one-sided victory that Strake Jesuit had on Tuesday.
Well, I mean, when you play a good club like Strake, I mean, if you make mistakes, they're going to capitalize on them, and that's exactly what they did. We had too many errors and too many miscues, one of them real early, and then one of them, or a couple of them late, that led to, a couple of big innings. So, I mean, you just can't recover from that. With their type of pitching and their type of hitting, it just turns into you're trailing the whole time and you're playing catch up. So, we stressed for the last 2 days. We got to make routine plays. Routine plays keep you in games, and so the spectacular play is going to happen spontaneously, but you got to continually make the routine play in order to give yourself a chance to win.
All right, so sometimes you'll come up with a game where the final score is something like lopsided, like 13-2, but does that tell the whole story, or maybe about halfway through, was it still pretty close?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were, it was a good game, about halfway through until about the fourth. It was 2-2 early, and then I think they came out and made it 5-2. And again, we made a couple of bobos, and it hurt us. So, and we were down like 7-2 about halfway through. So we were playing catch up, from the middle innings on. So it was tough.
What are the biggest keys to either staying tied with them or jumping ahead early and maybe protecting a lead? What are the most important goals within the game?
I think, up on the mound, we're going to have to throw strikes and attack hitters. When they hit the ball, we have to make plays at the plate. In fastball counts, we got to be aggressive. and we got to make things happen. We can't sit back and hope they happen.
All right, so here at Strake Jesuits, really nice ballpark. It's the only field turf surface that you play on during district games, if I'm not mistaken, unless A-Leaf has suddenly built something and I wasn't watching. Do your guys really like playing on a surface like this?
I think they prefer it. You get true hops. We play all our tournaments on turf, and our non-district games are on turf. So, we get plenty of, exposure, to it, since our field is dirt. And like you said, most of the district fields, are dirt too. So if I had to take a poll, I would say they prefer it, yes.
All right, Coach Kobza, thanks for being with us, and good luck tonight. We all know that just because of something being one-sided on Tuesday, it doesn't mean it can't flip, and maybe even flip all the way around. And you would get a lot of people's attention in Texas if you could deal them a loss, because they're ranked and everything.
Well, it's baseball, so you never know what's going to happen. So that's why we play the game.
All right. Greg Kobza of George Ranch, thanks for being with us on the Batter Up Show.
Thank you.
And we'll continue and talk with Ramon Garcia Ramo. He's the head coach of a really strong baseball team. They've been strong for several years in a row, but they, I think, can make a run at it. When we're talking about a UIL state championship this year, we'll be visiting with him when we return right after this. And thank you so much for showing sponsorship support. We've got Texan Hyundai, the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Republic Harley-Davidson of Stafford, and above all.
Hi, this is Larry Poston with Above All Roofing and Construction. We've been proudly serving our community for 27 years. As a Christian-owned and operated company, and as an ordained minister, I believe in treating every homeowner's roof like it's my own. What sets us apart is the attention to detail that we put into every roof. Every roof we install includes 7 free upgrades for lasting protection. We put on synthetic felt with plastic cap ring shank nails. We put on some of the best shingles in town, the GIF Timberline Lifetime HDZ Class 3 rated shingle. We install Storm Guard in all the valleys, around all the walls, and around all the vents. We install ridge vents everywhere we possibly can. Every project is backed by a 7-year labor warranty, and our Silver Pledge warranty through the manufacturer gives you total peace of mind. So if you want craftsmanship built on faith, family, and integrity, call Above All Roofing and Construction, where we put quality and care above all.
Welcome back to the Batter Up Show on VypeLCISD.com. As always, presented by Texan Hyundai. Time to visit with the Strake Jesuit Crusaders head man, Raul Garcia Ramo. He's been coach here for quite a while, and Coach, I'm just looking at the early results, and it appears that you might have one of your better teams, if not your best team. Would you possibly agree?
We've got some really good teams here, so I don't want to compare this team currently. Hopefully when the year ends, we can make a better evaluation of this team. But I like where we're at right now. I like where we're headed. This team's playing well together. I feel like we can hit the ball pretty good. So it really is going to come down to, if our pitching can maintain our depth in our pitching and play defense.
All right. Well, because you're in a district that has 7 teams in it, there's always going to be somebody who's got the week off. And as it turned out, your team had the week off the first time, and it's not as if your team was struggling, but I think you had won 8 straight. But you really came out like, you looked on Tuesday against George Ranch the way the Cougars looked in their first game of the NCAA hoops.
Yeah, I mean, we hit the ball well. We become really good approaches at the plate with 2 strikes. So that's been a big key for us. And, we didn't have a district game last week, but we scheduled 2 non-district opponents who are very strong. So I think that made us ready for Tuesday night's game. And, tonight will be a different ball game. I know these kids over here play hard, and they got a good program. They got a good lasting tradition, and Coach Cubs does a really good job with those guys. So that game's over Tuesday. We got our hands full tonight.
And by the way, you mentioned those non-district opponents. You really did help your team, trial by fire against teams like Katy Taylor. I know they're really good. Kingwood Park is ranked in the Class 5A. And you played Pearland, which is always tough. Lost to them. But can you think of anyone in the state who's played a tougher non-district schedule than your ball club?
I'm sure there are some some other teams that play a tough schedule, and that's done on purpose. And a lot of those, we played our first 11 games on the road, 2 tournaments and Clear Springs on the road, and that was kind of done on purpose. We want to kind of get out of our comfort zone a little bit, and I think that's helped. And yeah, I want to play good teams. I want to play good programs. It makes baseball a lot more fun, and it makes us better. And yeah, we were fortunate to come out with some wins on those games, but we really just wanted to play against good opponents and get ready for district.
All right, so final question for you. Who are you putting on the mound first tonight, and what are you expecting from him, and would you like to see him go all 7 innings if need be?
So we have a senior, Grady McGrinra, left-handed pitcher. He's been really good for us so far this year. A lot of strikes with multiple pitches, attacks the zone. So, yeah, I would like him to go 7. He went 7 last Thursday against Kingwood Park. So we're hoping he does the same. But if not, we got some other guys ready to go and bring in relief.
All right, thank you very much. That is Raul Garcia-Ramo, head coach of the Strake Jesuit Crusaders, who are leading the district with a record of 1-0, and they'll try to make it 2-0 tonight against George Ranch. Thanks for being with us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much for being out here.
All right, we'll be back with the starting lineups, and we'll get the warm-up pitches and tell you a little bit more about that starting pitcher that Coach Garcia-Ramo just talked about on Vype LCISD. Our coverage, as always, brought to you by Republic Harley-Davidson of Stafford, by Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, by Above All Roofing, and as always, presented by Texan Hyundai in Rosenberg on Highway 59 on the northbound side. Remember, they've got some great deals going, and that includes 3 months of no payments. How about that? How about on selected models, they have 0% APR financing on those selected models for 60 months. So they give you plenty of time to pay it off. And of course, as always, if you go to them and mention Roger or VypeLCISD.com, they'll knock another $1,000 off whatever deal you make. That's another grand that never leaves your hand. We'll be back.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
All right, welcome back inside the ballpark at Strake Jesuit, where we have a beautiful sunny evening. It is 82 degrees and bright sunlight coming in from where the left field foul pole is. And I know it might be bothersome, I guess, early on for the first baseman as they take throws from either the third baseman or the shortstop. But let's talk about the Texan Hyundai keys to the game. Well, George Ranch, I think, when you take it on the chin and lose by a score like 13-2, it's very important to score first. It's also very important to keep the base running traffic to a minimum when they are out there in the field, because you just can't afford to load the bases against a very good Strake Jesuit team, because you know those runs are going to come home to roost. All right, so for Strake Jesuit, I guess the Texan Hyundai key to victory for them is you just make sure you don't start getting too happy with yourself. They have been playing great baseball. They have a wonderful record this year of 14-3-1. And because of that, they are ranked in the state of Texas. In fact, they are not only winners of 9 straight and 11 of their last 12, but they are also ranked number 15 in the latest Texas High School Baseball.com poll, sponsored by Diamond Pro. All right, here are your starting lineups. First for George Ranch, leading off and playing second base, Lucas Robbins. Trevor Bielitz is in left field batting second. Batting third, it's the catcher, Luke Lovelace. Batting fourth, it's Carson Morton at shortstop. Bennett Bruce at third base, bats fifth for George Ranch. Jack Houston is at first base and batting sixth. Batting seventh, Aiden Collier, the pitcher, hitting for himself. Charlie Ford is in the 8 hole. He's playing center field and batting ninth for George Ranch. It is Clayton Gaetti in right field. So you have Robbins, Belitz, Lovelace, Morton, Bruce, Houston, Collier, Ford, Gaetti. And we might need to pause between lineups because I have a feeling they're going to do the national anthem. In fact, that's exactly what they're going to do right now. And we will step aside and honor America.
Let's pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Even better.
Lord God, we give you thanks for this day and for the gift of the sport of baseball. We ask you, please, this evening to protect all athletes from both teams and to guide this competition to your greater glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. St. Ignatius of Loyola. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And the American flag that we just honored, along with the Texas flag and the Strake Jesuit flag in right center, they're both showing that the wind is blowing pretty briskly from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole. And here is your Strake Jesuit starting lineup. Shortstop Jack Weglider leads off. Silas Newport bats second. He's in center field. Elijah Gassett is in right field for the Crusaders and batting third. Batting cleanup, it's their catcher, Nico Broyles. Batting fifth, third baseman Luke Loving. The designated hitter is David Rayom, and he's batting in place of the pitcher Grady McGrenera. Batting seventh, it's Ben Marshall at first base. Parker Owen at second base, batting eighth, and batting ninth, the left fielder Noah Franshaw. So Weglider, Newport, Gassett, Broyles, Loving, Rayom, Marshall, Owen, Franshaw. That is your Strake Jesuit lineup. And they've got the hard-throwing left-hander Grady McGrenera. 82 degrees, very comfortable, and quite a contrast from our Vype LCISD.com broadcast on Tuesday night when we were at Kempner High School, the Fort Bend ISD school, hosting the Terry Rangers, and it was very exciting. It went 8 innings, and Kempner pulled out the victory by a score of 14-13. They went for 2. Not really. You know what? I was just checking to see, if you were listening. So you think about the teams that Strake Jesuit has already beaten this year. They had some big pre-district wins. They beat Dickinson, Saginaw Boswell out of Fort Worth, the Oak Ridge War Eagles out of the Conroe ISD, not to mention Tomball Memorial, Clearbrook, Stratford, Clear Springs, Cy Ridge, number 17 ranked, 17th ranked Bridgeland, Concordia Lutheran, number 6 ranked Katy Taylor, Cy Woods, which is number 7 in the state, number 12 in 5A is Kingwood Park, and they lost games against Pearland, Baytown Sterling, and Grand Oaks, which is number 27 in the state. And here we go. And the first pitch to Lucas Robbins is in there for a strike. McGrenera comes set. He's going to go from the stretch all the time, it looks like, and that pitch is fouled over to the right. And it is 0-2 on Lucas Robbins. Few folks arriving a little bit late here on Friday. You know how Houston traffic can be. And the pitch on the way. Jammed him. Slow roller to shortstop. Weglider charges, throws across to Marshall, and that is the first out of the game. Strake Jesuits defensive alignment. Nico Broyles is catching McGrenera. Marshall at first. Parker Owen at second. Jack Weglider the shortstop. Luke Loving at third. In left field, it's Noah Franshaw. I remember him from the football season. Silas Newport in center, and Elijah Gassett in right field. Now left-handed hitting Trevor Bielitz standing in. And first pitch swinging. Hard ground ball into center field for a base hit. George Ranch with its first base runner.
The next batter is the catcher, number 22, Luke Lovelace.
Now Luke Lovelace, there's a lot of alliteration in this ball game. You got Luke Lovelace, Bennett Bruce, and there are others. Luke Loving, how about that? All right, McGrenera has been going from the stretch, and he throws over to first base, and diving back in is Trevor Bielitz. They have the bleachers decked out in green and white. I'm not sure what you call that. It's kind of pom-pom material, but it's all on a string, alternating about a foot of green and a foot of white. Another throw over. Bielitz back in. All right, here comes the pitch. Comes home and off the end of the bat, foul off the net right above the first base dugout. Lovelace takes his time, gets back in there. Standing near the back of the right-handed box. McGrenera brings it outside. And props to the umpire for not calling a pitch like that a strike. I mean, if it flies through air that's above the left-handed batter's box, then it's not a strike. 1-1 the count. There's another throw over. Bielitz diving back in. Bielitz is a football player, tough guy, does not wear the oven mitt on his business hand. The right hand is the one that he uses when he dives back into the bag. Here's the pitch. And that goes the other way down the right field line. It is in there. Fair ball. Bielitz is headed for third. Lovelace is headed for second. The ball gets back in. And there are runners at second and third for George Ranch here in the top of the first with only one out. Solid double for Luke Lovelace.
Next up is the shortstop, number 1, Carson Morton.
Now Talon Crawford is going to come in and run for Lovelace. So Lovelace can get the catcher's gear back on. And now Carson Morton, the shortstop. He's a very talented hitter, but you never know. They might ask him to lay down a bunt because he is speedy, could probably beat it out anyway. Also have to take into account that this is a field turf surface and the ball can go back at the infielders harder than you as the offensive player would want it to. Pitch on the way. Big looping curveball high and away, and Nico Broyles comes out of his crouch to gather it in. As we mentioned in the Batter Up show, this is the only field turf surface that is played on by the varsity baseball teams in this competitive district, District 20. McGrenera comes set at the belt, and here comes the pitch. Way upstairs again, and the count is 2-0 on Carson Morton. Pretty spacious field, approaching 400 feet to straightaway center. 325 down each of the lines. Morton ready. Here's the pitch. Takes it. That's a strike at the knees. Nico Broyles glances down toward third base and kind of looks Bielitz backward. He had taken quite a big venture off of third base, trying to come down the line and distract Grady McGrenora, but McGrenora is a lefty, so that is tough to do. Pitch on the way. Swing and a foul tip into the mid of Broyles. It's 2-2. Morton steps out for a moment. Now he gets back in there in his black New Balance shoes. Made in America. Good for him. McGrenora brings it. And a nice rip, but straight back into the net. George Ranch is wearing its, I'm going to call them the cream-colored uniforms this evening. A little bit off-white. And, of course, the maroon. You know, Oklahoma's official colors are crimson and cream. Not everybody knows that. Long look in, and then Morton gets tired of waiting, asks for time, gets it, steps out. We're in the top of the first. Nobody has scored, but George Ranch is threatening. Morton ready for another 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. And he hits it in the air, fouled off the net on the right side again. Morton just measuring McGrenora, looking for that pitch that he can do something with. McGrenora takes his time, now delivers. And that is a line drive into right field. It is over the glove of Parker Owen, the second baseman, and that will score Bielitz. Lovelace stops at third. Nice effort by Parker Owen. He stretched up as much as he could, but that's why they call it a game of inches. It's a base hit for Carson Morton and an RBI. 1-0, George Ranch. Still just one out in the first inning. Now Bennett Bruce. His mom stepped down to the front. There's a brick wall behind home plate, and of course she's getting video for posterity. Runners at the corners, one out. First pitch to Bruce is high for a ball. Takes a look at Coach Greg Kobza in the third base box down the line. McGrenora comes set, looks over at Morton, now throws over towards Morton, and he gets back in easily. If this was your spring break week, and it is for some folks, like the folks in Fort Bend ISD, well, I'm sorry it's over. But at least you have March Madness. Here's the 1-0 on the outside corner. Strike one, that evens it up. Bruce steps back in, slightly open stance with his back foot. Is on the stripe, the back of the box. And here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, so he's still alive. Actually, that makes it 1-2. Mi mal, lo siento mucho. Bennett likes to wear the yellow gloves. You could also garden in them. And McGrenora takes his time and now comes home with it. Ground ball to the right side. It's Ben Marshall, the first baseman, runs to the bag, takes it himself for the second out. On the play, you have Morton move over to second base, but Lovelace, or rather the guy running for him, that's Talon Crawford. He stays right where he is. So score that 3 unassisted for the second out. And now it's up to Jack Houston if George Ranch is to get more than 1 run in this top of the first inning. Right-handed hitting first baseman likes to stand close to the plate and stands pretty tall in the box. McGrenera brings it. Outside corner strike. Little bit of a breaking pitch that kind of snuck in the back door. And before the next pitch, Houston steps out. If he reaches, then it'll be Aiden Collier to come up. Here's the pitch. Outside corner strike again, and it's 0-2. Wait a minute, it's a balk. A balk is called on McGrenera. And as a result, Crawford comes on home and it's 2-0. So I just kind of assumed something when I said that it would be up to Jack Houston to make sure they got more than 1 run, but he didn't have to do anything. Morton moves over to third base with 2 outs, and Jack Houston will get ready for the next pitch, which will be an 0-1 pitch. The two umpires, the home plate umpire and the infield umpire, are pretty much right up the middle with that. 1 runner still on at third, and that's Morton. Ready for the 0-1 is Jack Houston digging in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Takes a moment to clear his head and steps back into the box. Got to protect on the 0-2. Here it comes. Upstairs, 1-2. Morton is moving around a lot as he leads off of third, trying to distract McGrenera. Now moving to the middle of the plate is Broyles, but the pitch came outside. McGrenera missed the target, and it's 2-2. No hoodies tonight. It's going to be very comfortable. Here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat, fouled nearly to the top of the net above the George Ranch dugout on the right side. Next week on Tuesday, we'll have the Tomas Gators making their debut on VypeLCISD.com. Pitch on the way, foul down the right field line, twisting into foul ground. Will it stay in play? Well, it stays in play, but unreachable by Elijah Gassett, the right fielder for Strake, and also the first baseman Marshall. So the count remains 2-2. So it'll be the Tomas Gators taking on Lamar Consolidated on Tuesday night starting at 5:45. Houston ready for another 2-2. Here it comes. Upstairs, and it's 3-2. The ball squirts away from the catcher Broyles, but not very far. The wind is not going to help a right-handed hitter who gets a hold of one, because it's going to knock that ball down. But if somebody goes toward right field, that's another matter. But it doesn't matter. Swung on and missed. Jack Houston goes down on strikes, but George Ranch does get a pair of runs. 2 runs come in on 3 hits, no errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We'll be back with the bottom of the first. George Ranch 2 and Strake Jesuit 0. Now, something that you need to remember is You should go to Texan Hyundai of Rosenberg because they've got amazing deals. And here are a couple of them. One, you can get 3 months of no payments. How about that? On any of their new models. And on selected models, if you want, you can get 0% APR financing on those selected models for 60 months. That's 5 years. So that is really going to be helpful on your pocketbook, and everybody needs help with their pocketbook these days. And then finally, no matter what deal you make at Texan Hyundai in Rosenberg, you can always tell them that you came to see them because you were urged to do so by VypeLCISD.com, or you can mention my name, Roger, and they'll knock off $1,000. So that is a grand that never leaves your hand. All right, so warming up for George Ranch and trying to keep the slate clean in the bottom of the first is their starting pitcher and a guy who's hitting for himself, Aiden Collier. It sounds like I'm stalling. I'm not really stalling. I'm just trying to open up something on my phone, but every time I touch the phone, it says, do you want to put in the password? Okay, so what I was looking for is the information where I can tell you that this is Aiden Collier's 5th pitching appearance. He's got 1 win and 1 loss on his record. He's got an ERA of 4.25, and he's thrown 12 innings for the Longhorns this year. Opponents batting .280 against Aiden Collier. He'll face Jack Wegleiter, Silas Newport, and Elijah Gassett for Strake Jesuit, as George Ranch, with this 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first, will try to keep that 0-0. Wegleiter is a powerful left-handed hitter, and he is evidently good friends with Lovelace. So a hearty, warm handshake for the George Ranch catcher, and we are ready to rock. It's going to be lefty versus lefty as Collier brings it to Wegleiter. Aiden shakes off one sign, now brings the first pitch, and it comes in a little hot, and it bounces past Lovelace all the way to the backstop. 1-0. Still a lot of sunshine up there. It'll probably be around for another 45 minutes, I would think. Here's another pitch. Same thing happened, went all the way to the backstop and missed way wide against the lefty swinging Wegleiter. He was honorable mention all district last year, and he hit .358. I think he'll be unanimous all district this year. The 2-0 from Collier. Big rip and hit the top of the ball. The foul ball makes it 2-1. Strake Jesuit, very handsome home uniforms with the green piping, letters, and numerals. Here's the 2-1. Downstairs, and it's 3-1. Silas Newport waiting to bat next for Strake. Collier rocks and fires. And it's a ground ball towards first base. Houston has it, bounces off his glove, and it's too late to get Wegleiter out. That would have been a very tough play to make. Okay, the PA guy said it first, so I'm going to say E3 myself. Oh, I know this song. I love that song. I've heard little kids at my church sing it. That's great. Also lefty hitting, Silas Newport. Open stance. The center fielder really has wheels, covers a lot of ground on defense. And here's the pitch. Down and away, ball 1. 2-0 George Ranch as they pitch to Strake Jesuit in the bottom of the first. Wegleiter is a good base stealer, but they may not want to take the bat out of Newport's hands. Pitch on the way. Outside corner strike as Collier works the breaking ball, moving away from the lefty hitter. Newport shades his eyes, looks over at the dugout, and gets the sign. Wears the white shoes and the green ankle guard on his right leg. Swing and got a piece of it, and it just trickles back to the backstop, and the count is now 1-2. Anybody who's listening who can tell the Newport family that the radio guy, at least tonight I'm radio guy, I really like his walk-up song. The 1-2 is fouled off. It remains 1-2 as Newport showing off his quick bat. Strake fans trying to ignite a rally as their team is down 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Collier throws over to first base. Back in is Wegleiter. Collier looks over the top of his glove, shakes off one sign, gets the one he wants now. Kicks and comes home. Check swing, the pitch is high, 2-2. Wegleiter taking a cautious lead off of first. Collier doesn't glance over there, but he does throw over there, and Wegleiter is back. It was kind of the baseball version of the no-look pass. Houston still has his foot on the bag over there. 2-2 the count. Pitch to Newport. He rips at it, comes up empty, strikeout for Collier. That's one away.
Next up is the right fielder, number 10, Elijah Gassett.
Elijah Gassett, as in Basset Hound. And for the third straight time, Strake Jesuit sends up a lefty hitter against the lefty throwing Collier. Gassett stands pretty tall in the batter's box, and he's pretty close to the plate as well. There's another throw over, and Wegleiter wanders back to the bag. Collier comes set. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. Right down, what is it, Bel Air Boulevard for strike one. Collier now working a little more quickly. Brings it. And a foul ball out of play to our left. Gassett is a junior, and he was first team All-District last year. He almost hit 500 last year, 485. But he's down 0-2. See if Collier can get him. Here's the pitch. Called, strike three on the outside corner. Second strikeout for Collier. And the second out of the inning.
Next up is the catcher, number 25, Nico Broyles.
Now Nico Broyles. I got a feeling they like Nico around here. I'm sure he's a great kid. Senior. Anchoring the catcher position for the Crusaders. Here's the first pitch. Checks his swing, but he went around. It is a swinging strike, 0-1. So Wegleiter reached on the error by Houston, but he hasn't been able to get past first base. We have two outs now. Collier shakes his head. Now gets what he wants. The 0-1. Foul ball, and he's got ahead in the count again. Collier doing a great job with that. 0-2 on Broyles. 1 week from tonight, we have video stream baseball, Foster and Fulsher. Lefty to righty, but first a throw over. So Broyles is the first right-handed hitter that we've seen for Strake Jesuit this evening. Collier ready to bring the 0-2. Here it comes. Inside corner, called strike 3, and Collier strikes out the side. No runs on no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base, and we will proceed to the second inning. Our score, George Ranch 2 and Strake Jesuit nothing.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there is one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
By the way, summer is going to be here before you know it, and I suggest to you 2 words: Harley Davidson. No, you know what? Make it 3 words: Republic Harley Davidson. No, I'm gonna up the ante to 5. Republic Harley Davidson of Stafford. It is a great place to go. They have great inventory. They have not only cycles, but they have gear to wear, all kinds of cool things that you can own, you know, like coffee mugs and beer steins and stuff like that. So check out Republic Harley Davidson in Stafford. And, you know, think about graduation.
Off the top of the second.
Maybe Dad's graduating. Maybe he deserves something from Harley Davidson, Republic Harley Davidson in Stafford. Okay, here we go. Aiden Collier, Charlie Ford, and Clayton Gaetti will be up for George Ranch, and the first pitch to Collier is high for ball 1. Another lefty-lefty matchup as Grady McGrenera gave up 2 runs in the top of the first. Slightly open stance for Aiden. Pitch on the way, and almost breaks a camera as he taps one foul behind home plate. Here comes another pitch, lefty to lefty, the 0-1, and fouled out of play to the left, slicing into the hazy afternoon sun. Afternoon is not the right word. The hazy evening sun. Scoreboard says it's a 1-2 pitch inside, make it 2-2. Umpire does not hold up fingers to say anything different, so yep, 2-2, that is the count. Collier hits one right up the middle, right into the glove of McGrenera. It was a one-hopper, and he went halfway to first and underhanded it to Ben Marshall. That's out number 1. Score at 1-3.
Fielder number 9, Charlie Ford.
Charlie Ford. Good time Charlie stands in. Another lefty hitter against McGrenera. Started to go after the first one, let it go, but it's a strike at the knees. Here comes the next one inside. And it's 1-1. Pitch on the way. And it's a high chopper on the right side. First baseman Marshall gets it. Underhands it, but can't get him. Safe at first. Good hustle by Charlie Ford. And McGrenera did his job. Got over there quickly, but Ford was running like a...
Next up, the left fielder.
What was he running like? He was running like a scalded dog. So that's an infield hit. By the way, it's the fourth of the night so far for George Ranch, and they have a little something going with one out. Clayton Gaetti steps in. Yes, the grandson of Gary Gaetti, the very first Sugarland Skeeters manager, and well-known major leaguer with the Twins, and a World Series champion twice, I think so, maybe in 87 and 91. Here's the pitch, and that is sliced down the third base line, foul. Well, if that had been about 6 feet to the right, well, Luke Loving might have gloved it, but it also might have been rolling a long, long way while Ford was running around from first base. The 0-1 to Gaetti. Breaking ball, and somehow it broke in over the plate. It was moving away from the lefty hitter, but it looked like maybe it missed the zone, but Blue said it's a strike. So 0-2 the count. Runner at first, one out, a throw over there, and Ford dives back in. It is 2-0 George Ranch, and the Longhorns are batting in the top of the second. George Ranch lost to Strake Jesuit 13-2 on Tuesday. There goes Ford, swinging a foul ball, and it ricochets off the brick backstop and all the way back out to the pitcher's mound. Ford showing off his wheels. Thank you, Rosie. She's the real hero here. She's inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters and says I sound pretty good. My heart is full. Okay, here we go. 0-2. Here's not a pitch, another throw over. Ford looks like he is ready to run. Stretches out his lead, leans towards second. There he goes. Pitches high for a ball. The throw down does not get him. He slides in ahead of the tag. Stolen base for Charlie Ford, and there's a runner in scoring position. Great job, Charlie. So that pitch being high makes it 1-2 on Gaetti. Low, slow practice swings. I think that's what his granddad used to do in the Baggy Dome up in Minneapolis. The 1-2, down and in, 2-2. Gaetti's a junior. Slightly open stance by the lefty hitter. And now we've got time, and Gaetti asks for it and steps out. Now he's ready to go at it again. Nobody covering second as Ford leads off. The 2-2 to Gaetti. Downstairs and smothered by Broyles. It got away from him just a couple of feet. No move by Ford, and the count goes to 3-2. Barring a very unlikely double play, we'll go top of the order to Lucas Robbins next. Noise out of the George Ranch dugout. Gaetti is ready. Swings, and it's a ground ball to shortstop, scooped up by Wegleiter, throws across, and he gets Gaetti, but on the play, Charlie Ford moves over to third with 2 outs.
Wegleiter to Marshall for the second out. Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Lucas Robbins.
Now Lucas Robbins hit a ground ball to shortstop when he came up to lead off the ball game, but he has a great chance to drive in a third run. 2-0, George Ranch, top of the second. McGrenera brings it. Curveball is upstairs, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. That was the heater upstairs, and Robbins really went after it. Leadoff hitter for the George Ranch Longhorns. McGrenera brings it. Swung on and missed. That was the off-speed pitch, and the bat was way ahead of the ball. And it's 1-2. The 1-2. And he fights one off, fouls it back into the screen. A good spoil. McGrenera is definitely capable of going 7 innings. He went a complete game against Kingwood Park in a win last week. But he probably didn't throw as many pitches in the first 2 innings of that game against Kingwood Park. The 1-2. And it's a soft grounder to second base. Parker Owen has it, throws over to Marshall, and that gets Robbins to end the inning. So there were no runs on one hit. There were no errors, and 1 man left on, and we'll proceed to the bottom of the second inning. George Ranch leading Strake Jesuit 2-0.
Hi, this is Larry Poston with Above All Roofing and Construction. We've been proudly serving our community for 27 years. As a Christian-owned and operated company and as an ordained minister, I believe in treating every homeowner's roof like it's my own. What sets us apart is the attention to detail that we put into every roof. Every roof we install includes 7 free upgrades for lasting protection. We put on synthetic felt with plastic cap ring shank nails. We put on some of the best shingles in town, the GIF Timberline Lifetime HDZ Class 3 rated shingle. We install Storm Guard in all the valleys, around all the walls, and around all the vents. We install ridge vents everywhere we possibly can. Every project is backed by a 7-year labor warranty, and our Silver Pledge warranty through the manufacturer gives you total peace of mind. So if you want craftsmanship built on faith, family, and integrity, call Above All Roofing and Construction, where we put quality and care above all.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, we are back, and Strake Jesuit will send up Luke Loving, David Rayome, and Ben Marshall as they trail George Ranch 2-0. And the pitch by Collier, first pitch swinging, ground ball to shortstop. Morton charges, throws, and a nice one right on target to Houston. He was a little off balance, but he made it look easy. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the second.
Designated hitter, number 11, David Rayome. Number 11.
All right, I had to take my eyes off the ball game for just a moment, and the first pitch to David Rayome is in there for a strike. He's the son of the head coach, Raul Garcia Remo. No, he's not. Never mind. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing, and the pitch just outside by Collier. So the count 1-1. Collier brings it. Inside corner strike. Perfect pitch. Really, there was not too much that Rayom would have been able to do with that pitch. One-two is outside, and that's a good idea to throw it there. You might get the chase swing. The 2-2. Swings and misses, another strikeout for Collier, and Lovelace has to throw down to first to get the put out because it was a drop third strike, but ain't no thang. 4 strikeouts for Collier, 2 outs, bases empty, and now it's Ben Marshall.
Number 22, Ben Marshall. Number 22.
Pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 to Marshall. Next one, nibbling at the corners and just missing. The count is 1-1. Marshall ready. And he goes the other way with it down the right field line. It is in there for a base hit. Gaetti chases it down in the corner. He'll get it back in, but it's an easy double for Ben Marshall. He slides in, though he did not need to. And with 2 outs, Strake Jesuit has a little something going here. That is the first hit off of Collier.
Number 3, Parker Owen.
The only other hitter to reach base for Strake Jesuit was Jack Wegleiter, who reached on an error in the first inning. Now Parker Owen, the second baseman. Lefty versus righty as Collier studies him. Bright sunlight on Collier's back. Looks back at second and brings it home. Inside for ball 1. 2-0 George Ranch. Bouncing back nicely in the early going here after the big 13-0 decision on Tuesday. They were on the wrong end of that one. There's a slider that was moving in on Parker Owen, called strike. It's 1-1. Collier comes set, looks back at second. Pitch to Owen. Ground ball to second. Robbins bobbles it a little, throws late, but in time. Later than he wanted to, but in time for the out. I will change my wording next time. But that one goes 4-3. It retires the side. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. And we'll be back on Vype LCISD, your new broadcast home for video streamed and audio of Lamar Consolidated ISD High School Sports. Don't forget, next week on Tuesday, we'll have web radio of the Tomas Gators and Lamar Consolidated, the first ever Tomas Gators game on our all-new website. And then video 1 week from tonight, Foster at Fulshire. We'll be back.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Back at the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth, and remember, you can buy a Hyundai on any day but Sunday in Rosenberg. Remember, they have great deals going. They've got 3 months of no payments. That's a great option. For some models of new Hyundais, they have, 60 months of 0% APR financing for those specific models. And also, there's one other thing, as Trevor Bielitz leads off for George Ranch to begin the top of the third. The Longhorns lead it by a score of 2-0. They got 2 in the first inning off Grady McGrenera. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's right to the first baseman. Easy play for Ben Marshall. Just 2 steps to get to the bag. 3 unassisted it goes, and there's 1 away. So when you go to Texan Hyundai in Rosenberg and you buy a new car, could be an Elantra, a Sonata, a Kona, a Tucson, a Santa Fe, a Palisade, or even a Santa Cruz, you get $1,000 off whatever deal you make when you mention Roger or mention Vype, LCISD.com. Just say Vype. That'll be enough. Luke Lovelace stands in. He doubled and scored the second George Ranch run. He looked at the first pitch for a ball, and the second one also out of the strike zone. He bats with 1 out and the base is empty. Lefty versus righty as McGrenera brings it. Off-speed pitch and a slow roller to first. Ben Marshall is busy, makes another unassisted play.
Marshall unassisted again for the second out. Next up, the shortstop, number 1, Carson Morton.
Carson Morton. Pretty sure he's no relation to Craig Morton, the Cowboys quarterback from the 60s and 70s, who, if Tom Landry had just pulled him in Super Bowl V and let Staubach take it the rest of the way, I'm sure the Cowboys would have beaten the Colts that day. Morton ready. Oh, there's an ephus pitch. I think that got away from McGrenera. And for those of you in Rio Linda, an ephus pitch, usually it's purposeful and it has a lot of hang time. It's like a camelback type pitch way up in the air. But I think that one just slipped out of McGrenera's hand. It's 1-0. Morton ready. Downstairs. And it's 2-0. I look forward to seeing Morton really unleash his power. Slightly closed stance for the righty hitter. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. He was trying to go deep somewhere with that pitch. George Ranch has out-hit Strake Jesuit 4-1. They lead it 2-0. We're in the top of the third. 2 outs. Down the right field line, Elijah Gassett ranging over. That's got a chance, and it's gone! He went up, Otako! Carson Morton, a bomb to right field, and it makes it 3-0. The wind definitely helped. It had that clockwise spin on it, and it took it over the wall as Elijah Gassett just looked up, and it was suddenly gone. Now Bennett Bruce. I think I saw his family sitting over to my left. I wonder if he's from Australia. You know, it seems like every guy from Australia is named Bruce. First name, of course. His first name is Bennett. Pitch on the way. First pitch swinging. Fouled off the net. Look out over in the the George Ranch dugout. Everybody's okay, I presume. 0-1. Bruce grounded to first base his first time, and he looks at a ball upstairs, 1-1. So Strake Jesuit has the home advantage here, and that includes not having to look into the sun in this early evening ball game. Next pitch, a little foul tapper behind the home plate, and it's 1-2. Roger Smith along with Rosie Bega, who is inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters. I'm in the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth. 1-2 the count to Bennett Bruce. And he fouls one off. Fights it off very well. He's trying to follow up on Carson Morton's solo homer down the right field line. There's a 9-foot fence around most of the outfield at Strake. Pitch to Bruce. Off the end of the bat. Slow roller to second base. Parker Owen charges. Throws to Marshall. Got his man. And that'll do it. But George Ranch strikes for a run. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on base. And we will proceed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is 3-0. George Ranch leading Strake Jesuit, and we'll take you into commercial break with a little wider shade of pale by Stevie Winwood.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Noah Franshaw leads off for Strake Jesuit. He's the number 9 hitter. Then back to the top of the order, Jack Weglider and Silas Newport. So far, it's been an absolute gem by Aiden Collier. The left-hander has only given up 1 hit through the first 2 innings. Franshaw, a lefty hitter. First pitch to him. He shows bunt, takes it, and it's low for ball 1. The sun is sinking behind the left field foul pole, and Coach Raul Garcia Ramo is casting a long shadow as he stands in the third base box. And the second pitch to Franshaw is in there for a strike. It is so nice to be watching a high school game and not shivering like Tuesday night. Here's the 1-1. In there for a strike, right at the knees. Great location by Collier. Goes to the back of the mound. Fidgets a little bit, as so many pitchers do. Goes from the windup. Meanwhile, on the other side, McGrenner has been he's been going from the stretch all the time. And there is an opposite field base hit to left field by Franshaw.
Next up, the shortstop, number 17, Jack Wegleitner. Number 17.
Well, Strake Jesuit has had a real struggle getting to Collier so far, but this is a big opening as they send up their leadoff hitter, Wegleiter. He's 0 for 1, but he did get on an error the first time, but they never got him past first base. That was the Crusaders' first at bat. And there's a line drive into center field and a nice effort, but Ford can't scoop it up. It drops in front of him. It's a single. Back-to-back base hits for Strake Jesuit. Franshaw moves to second.
Silas Newport.
Now Silas Newport comes up. He represents the tying run. All right, so Collier got to dig in right here. Looks over the top of his glove and gazes in, ready to pitch to Newport. Here comes the first one. Squares to bunt, takes the bat out of the zone, and it's in there for a strike. Silas went down swinging his first time. Infield at double play depth, Morton and Robbins. Just off the outside corner with that breaking ball. Collier throwing the pitch to break away from the lefty hitter. And the count is 1-1. Collier looks back at second. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, and Newport backed out of the way, but he was in no danger at any point. And he checks on the count, and the count is 2-1. Open stance for Newport. 3-0 George Ranch. We're in the bottom of the third. Pitch on the way. High fly ball to left center, ranging over is Ford. He's under it. He makes the catch and makes a strong throw toward third, and the runners hold. Nice throw. Harmless fly ball to center field, one away. Franshaw remains at second, and Weglider still at first.
Elijah Gassett.
By the way, the Elijah reminds me that Strake Jesuit has an amazing, 7, 8, 9 Bible first names on their varsity roster. Amazing. One out, runners first and second, and the first pitch to Elijah Gassett outside for ball one. So in addition to him, they've got Silas Newport, New Testament. Noah Franshaw, we know about him. Luke Lenhart. Jacob Scheinbein, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. All right, here's the 1-0. Down and away, nice block by Lovelace. You got another Luke Loving, and then Elijah Gassett, who's in the batter's box right now. Ben, as in Benjamin Marshall, Jacob had 12 sons. And then there's Jake, which counts as Jacob, and Jonathan, King David's best friend, Jonathan Massey. Here's the pitch. That's a fly ball to right center. Long run for Gaetti. He won't be able to get to it. It one hops the wall. Coming around third and scoring is Noah Franshaw. Coming around third and scoring as well is Jack Weglider. And all the way into third base with a triple goes Gassett. And it is 3-2. George Ranch's lead has gone down to 1. That was amazing. And now it's up to Collier. Just kind of reset. One out in the inning, but now he's got to concentrate on Nico Broyles. He did manage to strike out Broyles the first time. And from the windup, Collier brings a strike in the inner half of the plate. Nice pitch to Broyles. 0-1. Next pitch from Collier. Off-speed pitch. It's a one-hopper to second base. Robbins picks it up, throws to first in time. They get the out, but the run scores. Gassett comes home, and all of a sudden we've got a new ball game, 3-3. And now the bases are empty with 2 outs.
Next up, the third baseman, number 9, Luke Loving. Number 9.
They love their Luke Loving here at Strake Jesuit, but not like they love their whole team. That's a Joni Mitchell reference. You had to be listening really hard to get it. And really old as well. All right, so we got a new game, 3-3, and Collier will go after Loving now. First pitch just missed away. 1-0. Lefty versus lefty, a whole lots of those matchups tonight. Pitch on the way. Over the plate, but low, 2-0. The sun continuing to sink down behind the townhomes beyond the left field wall. Collier brings it. Loving takes. That's a strike at the knees. George Ranch has still out-hit Strake Jesuit 5-4, but we're all knotted up in runs at 3-3. We have the big red cross in the field turf in center field, right in front of Charlie Ford. Here's the 2-1 pitch, fouled away, high over toward the tennis courts. Don't worry, no one's practicing. Two and two the count on Loving. The 2-2. Collier goes after Loving. Of course, don't we all, but in that case, he misses the strike zone. And it goes 3-2. Next pitch is high for ball 4, and Loving takes a walk.
Loving walks in the DH. Comes to the plate, number 11, David Rayom.
By the way, Collier's had great control. That's his first walk tonight. And now we've got a mound meeting for George Ranch. Greg Kobza goes out, wants to talk to Collier. Talking to everything, or everyone. And he doesn't have to talk very long to get the message across. Now he heads back to the dugout. Quick double hand clap, and now he's trusting in his infielders and Aiden Collier to get it done and keep this game tied before we get out of the third inning. David Rayom, lefty hitter, looks at a pitch down and away, ball 1. Steps out, now back in there, and he's pretty close to the plate as usual. Collier steps off. We've been playing an hour and 7 minutes. Collier brings it. Foul ball out of play, sliced over toward the hitting cages down the third base side. Well, these two teams will not be playing district games next year. The UIL has realigned, and, you know, they could have done us a favor and realigned before Johnny Football graduated. You remember him. He really torched some really good LCISD defenses. Collier picks up the rosin bag. Just get his fingers a little bit tackier. Rayom with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And it's a slow roller to the right of the mound. Tough play for Robbins. He's got it, throws to first, and not there, not in time. David Rayom beats it down the line, and he gets an infield hit.
Next up is the first baseman, number 22,
Loving moves to
Ben
second,
Marshall.
and this inning continues. Now the go-ahead run is in scoring position, and now Ben Marshall doubled in the second, but it came to nothing. So let's see what the Marshall plan is. Righty hitter against the lefty Collier. Collier looks back at second, brings it home. Curveball just above the letters, 1-0. Big things can happen when you make an effort play like Rayom just did. Pitch to Marshall. An excuse me swing, and he fouls it back into the net. The count is 1-1. Collier was enjoying a 3-0 lead when he started this inning, but we're now tied up at 3. It's the bottom of the third. 2 outs, and the 1-1 pitch is a strike on the inner half of the plate to Marshall. 1-2. Collier looking for that third strike or something his fielders can take care of. Here's the pitch. Just downstairs. Right on the outside corner, but evidently a little bit below the knee, and it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Down and in. It gets away for a moment from Lovelace, but he captures it. And no advance by Loving at second or Rayom at first. Meanwhile, the count is 3-2 on Marshall, so that means the merry-go-round is going to start. All the runners, well, both the runners will get a head start. Collier looks back at second and comes home with it. And it's down for ball 4. The bases are loaded. No walks until this inning, but in this inning, there are a pair of them for Collier. And Coach Kobza doesn't want to go out and make another mound visit, because if he does, that means he's got to make a pitching change. And I think we might get a pinch hitter for Strake Jesuit.
Pinch hitting for Parker Owen is number 20, Charlie Pesic.
Charlie Pesic. Each team with a Charlie. Looks like a strong, big and beefy right-handed hitter. And now Collier will go back to the windup with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Strike right down the middle. Pesic steps out, takes a good hard practice swing. Now gets the feet set. Collier starts his windup, and here it comes. Down and in, 1-1. Nice block by Lovelace. If he was a goalie playing hockey, that would be the 6 hole. I think it's like left to right if you're the shooter, right? Collier ready to bring the 1-1. Just missed the inner half of the plate, and it's 2-1. And Lovelace makes a gesture toward his pitcher to say, that's what I wanted you to do. That's where I wanted you to put it. Unfortunately for George Ranch, Pesic didn't offer at it. Here comes the 2-1. It's a little chopper toward third. Taken by Bruce, throws over to first base. The throw is high. 2 runs are going to come home, and Strake Jesuit will lead it 5-3. Oh, that's a shame. Loving comes home, and Rayom comes home. Safe on an error is Pesic.
2 runs come across on the error.
And Ben Marshall ends up at third base.
The left fielder, number 5, Noah Franshaw.
Pesic gets on.
5.
Reached on an error.
Parker Owen re-enters to run at first
Now you got
base.
Parker Owen back on to run at first base where Pesic ended up. And the third inning continues. And Noah Franshaw is going to be the 10th at-bat in this inning. Technically, bases on balls don't count as at-bats, but you know what I mean. The 10th plate appearance, put it that way. Runners at the corner, still 2 out. 5-3 Strake Jesuit. They have just taken the lead, and the first pitch is downstairs, ball 1 to Franshaw. He walked and scored the first Strake Jesuit run of the game earlier this inning. Collier comes set, but throws over. That's close, but diving back in safely is Owen. Wouldn't be surprised if they sent Owen. Collier brings it. There goes Owen. And the pitch is a strike on the inside corner and no throw. Owen steals second base. I knew he was going to do that. And now there are two runners in scoring position. Marshall at third, Owen at second. And meanwhile, the count on Franshaw after that called strike is 1-1. Open stance from the left-handed box. Collier trying to get out of this inning. Here comes the pitch. There's a strike, 1-2. He's one strike away from going back to the dugout. Frustrating bottom of the third for George Ranch thus far. But Strake Jesuit has earned it. They have 4 hits in the inning. There's a little foul that bounces off of home plate and back behind the brown area. It's not dirt. It's, field turf painted brown. Well, I say that Strake Jesuit has earned the runs they've gotten. Well, they've earned most of them. But there have been a couple of costly errors. Yeah, that pitch is high. It's now 2-2. There's actually just one error in this inning. There was an error in the first, and that did no harm. But the one this inning did bring home a couple of runs, and so Strake is up 5-3. 2-2 the count. Collier brings it. Big flailing strikeout, swinging. Down goes Franshaw, but the damage is done from the George Ranch perspective. So 5 runs come in, 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base, and we'll proceed to the 4th. Strake Jesuit 5 and George Ranch 4 on Vype LCISD.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, this is Larry Poston with Above All Roofing and Construction. We've been proudly serving our community for 27 years. As a Christian-owned and operated company and as an ordained minister, I believe in treating every homeowner's roof like it's my own. What sets us apart is the attention to detail that we put into every roof. Every roof we install includes 7 free upgrades for lasting protection. We put on synthetic felt with plastic cap ring shank nails. We put on some of the best shingles in town, the GIF Timberline Lifetime HDZ Class 3 rated shingle. We install Storm Guard in all the valleys, around all the walls, and around all the vents. We install ridge vents everywhere we possibly can. Every project is backed by a 7-year labor warranty, and our Silver Pledge warranty through the manufacturer gives you total peace of mind. So if you want craftsmanship built on faith, family, and integrity, call Above All Roofing and Construction, where we put quality and care above all.
Jack Houston leads off for George Ranch as they find themselves down as we go to the 4th inning. McGrenera still out there pitching, and the first pitch is high to Houston. By the way, if you've been praying that the Lord would lead you to the right man, the right company to rebuild or repair your roof, well, your prayers have been answered. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Houston swings, and it goes foul out of play. So my friend Larry Poston is the man. Give him a call, 713-298-2225. That's 713-298-2225. Larry Poston Above All Roofing is the company as the pitch bounces in. It's now 2-1 on Jack Houston. And if you want to go to the website, it is heisabovall.com. All right, Houston just trying to get something going for George Ranch. They find themselves down by 2. Pitch from McGrenera up the middle and off his glove. This is going to be an infield hit. Jack Houston blistered one and hit it off the webbing of McGrenera's glove, and it trickled over towards shortstop, but rolling so slowly that Wegleiter couldn't do anything about it. Had to eat the ball, not literally, of course. And there's a man on with nobody out. Now Aiden Collier.
Next up is the pitcher, number 2, Aiden Collier.
Trying to help himself out. He's been in a position to win the game through most of it, but now he's on the hook to be the losing pitcher, and he'll try to help lead a comeback. First pitch to him, downstairs, ball 1. Sun is just peeking over the treetops down the left field line. Pitch on the way. Right down the middle, mid-thigh strike. McGrenera evens the count 1-1. Collier in the back of the box with a slightly open stance, but first a throw over and back in is Houston. Remember, it's always free to listen live or listen later when we do a game on web radio, and you can view it live or view it later when we do a video stream. There's a ground ball towards first, backhanded by Marshall, throws to second in time to get the force there, and the return throw to McGrenera covering is not in time, so Collier reaches on a fielder's choice. Houston is the first out. Now Charlie Ford singled, stole a base, and got to third when he came up in the second, and it's really a shame for George Ranch that he didn't get home. Five to 3, George Ranch is down, but plenty of time to catch up, and Ford is ready. Lefty versus lefty. McGrenera delivers, and a late swing, foul ball off the net, and almost hits the roof of the third base dugout. Pretty big gap out in right center, but first a throw over and back in is Collier. Collier's pitching, but he's too speedy to be lifted for a courtesy runner. Pitch on the way. And a bunt out in front of the plate, picked up by Broyles, throws to first, and it is not in time. Everybody's safe. Broyles thought he got his man, but hustling was Charlie Ford. That's an infield hit. Collier moves to second, and now George Ranch has something brewing.
Right fielder, number 19, Clayton Gaetti.
Clayton Gaetti comes up now. And I'm looking at the crowd. It's been a while since I've seen his grandfather, Gary, but I think he might be in the ballpark tonight. Clayton is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. That came in the second. Opportunity is knocking for him here. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. The home plate umpire has been very consistent, and I think he is stuck by the rule book. I know that might not be what everybody wants, but it's what I want. I want justice. A ball should be a ball, and a strike a strike. 1-0 is the count on Gaetti. Here's the pitch. And he takes that one. It is downstairs for a ball. Nico Broyles, the catcher, looking a little bit miffed. I think he's still thinking about that play at first base. He thought he had thrown out Charlie Ford, but I think Ford got there, and you know what they say, tie goes to the runner. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Clayton Gaetti. McGrenera comes set at the belt, brings it home, upstairs, and it's 3-0. McGrenera is a pitch away from walking the number 9 hitter. He's the go-ahead run, by the way. Strong left-handed hitter. Takes a strike on the inside corner. He was taking all the way. Just one out. Runners at first and second. George Ranch batting in the top of the fourth. Down 5-3. McGrenera brings it. And a foul tip by Gaetti. Hanging in there like a rusty fish hook. Just got a piece. That's all he had to do. And he lives to swing again. Gaetti ready. Granera checks the runners, now brings it. Swing and a miss. 2 down. Gaetti frustrated.
Granera with the strikeout. And next up is the second baseman, number 6, Lucas Robbins.
The infield had been at double play depth. Now they back up, and Lucas Robbins comes up. 2 ground balls tonight, has not reached base. McGrenera on the hook a little bit, trying to wriggle off. Here's the first pitch. Robbins looks at a slow curveball, catches the upper part of the zone. Strike 1. Don't let that sound alarm you. It means nothing. 0-1 the count. Robbins ready. Here's the pitch. That's a fly ball to center field. Easy play for Silas Newport. He gloves it, only had to take a couple of steps to his left. And we are done in the top of the fourth. For George Ranch, no runs on 2 hits. No errors. 2 men left on. We'll be back on Vype Old Habits Die Hard. We'll be back on Vype, LCISD.com.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth. We're going to the bottom of the fourth, and George Ranch is trailing Strake Jesuit 5-3. Strake will send up Jack Wegleiter, Silas Newport, and Elijah Gassett. And it is still Aiden Collier pitching for George Ranch. By the way, you could go to Tubi or any place you go to download movies or video stream them, and you could watch Easy Rider. I guess you could, but you don't have to. You can just go to Republic Harley Davidson in Stafford. They're open every day but Monday. Isn't that interesting? Texan Hyundai. You can't buy a Hyundai on a Sunday. You can't buy a Harley in Stafford on a Monday, but you can dream about it Monday and go in first thing Tuesday morning, or any other morning for that matter, and treat yourself to a new Harley Hog. Jack Wegleiter back to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Got a single and came home to score one of the 5 Strake Jesuit runs in the 3rd inning, and they lead it 5-3. And Collier, lefty to lefty, brings the first one. Downstairs for a ball. Collier looks in for a long time at his catcher Lovelace. Here's the pitch. That 2 is down low. Ball 2, 2-0. Nice sportsmanship by Wegleiter. Picks up the ball, so, Lovelace wouldn't have to walk out in front of the plate. Sportsmanship can be really good, but I saw something last night that didn't work out. And that next pitch is outside, 3-0 the count on Wegleiter. I noticed that Emmanuel Sharp of the Cougars knocked a guy down, helped him up while the ball was still in play, and then the ball ended up in that guy's hands. That's ball 4, by the way. Wegleiter walks. And Sharp was guarding the guy again, but as soon as the guy got the ball in his hands, he shot a 3, and Sharp fouled him. So maybe he shouldn't have helped him up while the ball was still in play. All right, we're going to have a pitching change. Coach Kobza has gone to the mound, and he patted Collier on the fanny and said, "Good job, son. We'll take it the rest of the way, and we'll tell you who the new pitcher is when we return on VypeLCISD.com. Glad to have you with me in the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth. We'll be back.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Austin Harris is on as the new pitcher for George Ranch. And the right-hander had a crazy outing. That was last week when he kind of did a great job as Foster took a 6-0 lead over George Ranch in the first inning in the Friday game at George Ranch. Actually, it was Thursday. They played it on a Thursday, but it was the Friday game on a Thursday. Anyway, Harris did a great job of holding Foster bats silent for 4+ innings, and his team got the lead for him, and then he was unable to control Foster, who scored 5 times in the top of the 7th and ended up winning that game a crazy 11-10 as Foster and George Ranch split their first 2 district games against each other. All right, so it is 5-3, Strake Jesuit on top, and they've got a man on in the bottom of the 4th. That's Jack Wegleiter, who just walked, and now it is Silas Newport getting his first look at the new pitcher, Austin Harris. Austin's a lanky kid. Comes set and brings it home, and Newport rockets it down the right field line. It hits the wall on the fly, and Wegleiter goes all the way from first to third. And only because Silas Newport hit the ball so hard did Wegleiter not score.
Next up is the right fielder.
Wow, he really turned on that one. So Silas Newport, the Rice commit, was 0 for 2, but now he's 1 for 2, and he got a double. So 2 guys in scoring position. Strake up 5-3 already, and now Elijah Gassett. And Gassett hit a triple to drive home 2 after striking out in the first. Harris brings it. That's a high fly ball down the left field line, twisting into foul ground, and it falls harmlessly to the turf. 1 strike. By the way, it looks like we have a new third baseman for George Ranch. It's Cade Pilchick. Yeah, sure enough. That's where Cade Pilchick is right now. 0-1 count on Gassett, but first a throw over, and diving back in is Newport. I said he had gotten a double. He hit it so hard, he only got a single out of it. I think he was over there just I'm not sure why he appeared to be over near second base. Maybe I was thinking picking up a piece of equipment for somebody. I don't know. But he's at first. Meanwhile, pitch to Gassett is downstairs. It's now 1-1. Beautiful sunset down the left field line. Very pleasant dusk. The lights are not terribly bright. At least they don't seem all that bright right now. There's a throw over to first base by Harris, and a good one, but does not get Newport. Runners first and third. Nobody out. Bottom of the fourth. Strake Jesuit leading 5-3. And another pitch outside the strike zone. 2-1 the count on Gassett. Next pitch by Harris. Just missed the outside corner. He goes to 3-1. So he was greeted very rudely with that hard hit off the right field wall by Newport. And now he falls behind 3-1 on Gassett. Here's the 3-1 way outside, and the bases are loaded. Mayday, mayday.
Next up for the Crusaders is the catcher, number 25, Nico Broyles.
Nico Broyles could kind of use motivation. You know, he thought he had made a good play on a bunt that went out in front of home plate. He thought he threw out the runner at first base.
Chips, soda, water. You got 10 minutes.
He might take that anger out on the baseball, and now the infield is drawn in tight. They will come home on any ground ball that goes at one of the fielders. Pitch to Broyles. Outside, Lovelace moves to his right to keep it in front. Righty versus righty. Harris bringing it to Broyles. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball, just missed the outside corner. And a good call, a rule book non-strike. That's what it was. I said the count had been 1-1. It was 1-0. Now it's 2-0. Make that 3-0. No place to put Broyles. Harris has to pitch and execute just right, or this game might get away from George Ranch. Pitch on the way. Outside corner strike. I would have preferred him not nibbling the edges, but go right down the middle, but as long as it's a strike. 3-1. Broyles is going to jump on anything he likes. Here it comes. Down and away, ball four. Another run scores. It is 6-3, Strake Jesuit.
In comes Wegleitner. And next up is the third baseman, number 9.
Wegleitner scores. Newport goes to third, Gassett to second, and Broyles will be replaced by his usual courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner for Broyles is number 4, Emile Massonet.
I wanted to make sure it was Emile Massonet, and it is indeed Emile Massonet. Très bien. All right, so now Luke Loving steps into the batter's box. Still nobody out, bottom of the fourth. And now the lead has expanded to 6-3 Strake. First pitch is strike inside corner to Loving. 0 for 1, but he did walk and scored in that 5-run third. His first look at Harris. Righty versus lefty. Here it comes. And that's a fly ball towards center. Ford ranging back, steps in a couple of steps, And coming home from third is Silas Newport. Sacrifice fly by Loving.
Sacrifice 5 for Loving. Newport.
And that makes it 7-3. Gassett stays where he was at second.
Designated hitter number 11.
And Masonette is still at first. 2 away, and at least for George Ranch, they can move to double play depth. David Rayom stands in. Harris comes home with it. Breaking ball and a beauty right down the middle. Strike one. Ben Marshall waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. Way outside. 1-1. Harris gets the sign from Lovelace. Here's the pitch. Rayom takes, and it's down and in. 2-1. Rayom rests the bat on his shoulder. Now he's got it poised. Here it comes. And a foul ball back to the screen. 2-2. Just one out in this bottom of the fourth. Harris came on to pitch after Jack Wegleiter walked to begin the inning. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball toward first base. Houston scoops it up, steps on the bag, and they get the second out. Gassett moves to third, and Masonette to second.
Now batting the first baseman.
3 unassisted goes that play.
Ben Marshall, number 22.
Now Ben Marshall, who likes the God's Country song. It's a pretty cool song, I think. Got a feeling to it. The dog's running. Okay, Ben Marshall is ready. Runner second and third. Harris brings it. Breaking ball. Strike at the belt. Marshall's doubled and walked. Harris kicks and comes home. Hard smash, foul down the third base line, and giving it a look for George Ranch was Cade Pilchick, the new third baseman. 0-2 the count on Ben Marshall. Just outside. That was tantalizingly close, and it's 1-2. Harris brings it. Swing and a miss. And down goes Marshall. That retires the side. So in that inning, 2 runs come home for Strake Jesuit on only 1 hit. Walks killed the George Ranch Longhorns in that inning. They had 3 of them.
Through 4.
There were no errors.
George Ranch 3.
And there are 3 men left on base. And we'll continue. Go into the 5th inning here on Vype, LCISD.com. It is 7-3, Strake Jesuit over George Ranch.
Hi, this is Larry Poston with Above All Roofing and Construction. We've been proudly serving our community for 27 years. As a Christian-owned and operated company and as an ordained minister, I believe in treating every homeowner's roof like it's my own. What sets us apart is the attention to detail that we put into every roof. Every roof we install includes 7 free upgrades for lasting protection. We put on synthetic felt with plastic cap ring shank nails. We put on some of the best shingles in town, the GIF Timberline Lifetime HDZ Class 3 rated shingle. We install Storm Guard in all the valleys, around all the walls, and around all the vents. We install ridge vents everywhere we possibly can, Every project is backed by a 7-year labor warranty, and our silver pledge warranty through the manufacturer gives you total peace of mind. So if you want craftsmanship built on faith, family, and integrity, call Above All Roofing and Construction, where we put quality and care above all.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Trevor Bielitz leads off the 5th inning for George Ranch, and the Longhorns find themselves down 7-3. First pitch to him was a ball, and then he fouls one off, so the count evens up 1-1. He'll be followed by Luke Lovelace and Carson Morton. At least they are scheduled. The lefty is ready, and the pitch from McGrenera, and it's lashed into right field for a base hit. Trevor Bielitz gets things started. Not just trying to kill it, just
Next up is the catcher, number 22.
Take what the pitcher gives you. And he put it past a diving second baseman, Parker Owen. So now Luke Lovelace. Doubled and scored in the first inning. He's 1 for 2. McGrenera brings it. First pitch swinging, and it's off the top of the net and just beyond the dugout on the first base side. There's an Episcopal baseball player with a sore elbow who picked up the ball. Thank you. And another, a throw over. And Bielitz gets back to the bag. Bielitz is speedy enough. They might have him run, even though they're down by 7-3. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive to right field going for the gap. It is cut off by Gassett, but it's a single for Lovelace. Bielitz stops at second, and George Ranch hitting the ball hard off of McGrenera as they bat in the top of the 5th. And I wonder how long it's going to be before we see, number one, action in the Strake Jesuit pen. And also, will we see a visit from Raul Garcia Ramo, the head coach, or one of his assistants? Carson Morton now. Singled and homered, scored a run. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Morton looks down at Coach Kobza in the third base box. Beautiful, pleasant evening. The sun is down, but the darkness hasn't totally covered us up. McGrenera wants to talk to his catcher. Broyles goes out there after the umpire says, yes, you may. Don't forget, next week on Tuesday night, we've got radio. Tomas is taking on Lamar Consolidated, and then video stream next Friday, Foster and Fulshire. That'll be a very important game. Fulshire and Foster will also get their shots at Strake Jesuit as the schedule rolls on. Okay, the timeout is done. Morton is back in the batter's box. McGrenera brings it way upstairs. That's not what they had talked about, I'm sure. And the count is 2-0. Bielitz at second. He singled to lead off the inning. Lovelace then singled. So there are runners at first and second. Morton's ready. The 2-0. Down and away. 3-0. By the way, there's a courtesy runner for Lovelace. We'll get the ID on him ASAP. McGrenera to Morton. Takes one, a strike on the inside corner, and the look of 100% incredulity on the face of Morton. He can't believe it. He'd probably rather hit the ball anyway. So let's see what they offer him on 3-1. McGrenera set at the belt, looks back at second. Here it comes. And it's fouled back into the net. Almost got over it. Now the count is full, 3-2 on Morton. He was thinking he had a walk. He's got to get that out of his mind. The pitch from McGrenera. Swung on and missed. And a frustrated Morton goes back to the dugout. One away.
Next up, the third baseman, number 13, Bennett Bruce.
Okay, I think maybe it is Talon Crawford running at first base. Perhaps. All right, here we go. Bennett Bruce. The lefty asks for time before he sees the first pitch.
Hitter at the plate is number 26, Cade Pilsick.
Indeed, Pilchick is, he had come in at third base for Bruce. So Pilchick is batting against McGrenera. His first plate appearance. First pitch in there for a strike. That's when you say, now you've seen it, Cade. In the back of the left-handed box, McGrenera delivers. It's a ground ball toward the left side. It is Loving, the third baseman, goes to second for one out. That's the only one they'll get, but I'm sure they're happy with that.
Parker Owen scoops it out for the
So
second
Pilchick
out.
reaches on the fielder's choice.
And now batting the first baseman, number 10, Jack Houston.
And the pinch runner, or the courtesy runner for Lovelace, is out at second. Belitz is now at third. And Pilchick is at first, and Jack Houston needs to get something done here. George Ranch trailing 7-3 here in the top of the fifth. And now Raul Garcia Ramo, the head coach for Strake Jesuit, comes out. And will he give McGrenera the hook, or will he give him some advice? I've got some advice for you. Go to Republic Harley Davidson in Stafford. It's a great place. They just want you to come on by, whether you get a hog or not. Might want to get a tank top that really makes you look good, girls. Or guys, a tank top that you think makes you look good. They got jackets. They got caps. They got mugs. They got beer steins. They got coolers that you can take to the lake. And they've got Harley hogs. So go to Republic Harley Davidson in Stafford. We appreciate their support. Also, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, the Above All Roofing Company, and of course, I am talking to you from the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth. Texan Hyundai in Rosenberg. They will treat you right. All right, here we go. 2 outs in a big at-bat for Jack Houston with runners at the corners and his team down 7-3 in the top of the fifth. We had that timeout, a lot of talking, and then he steps out. Now he's back in. The pitch to Houston, and it's a chopper over the mound. Nice play, McGrenera. He reaches up and gets it, underhands it to first, and that puts out the fire. And so we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. 7-3, by the way, in that inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We'll be right back after this from Above All Roofing.
Hi, this is Larry Poston with Above All Roofing and Construction. We've been proudly serving our community for 27 years. As a Christian-owned and operated company and as an ordained minister, I believe in treating every homeowner's roof like it's my own. What sets us apart is the attention to detail that we put into every roof. Every roof we install includes 7 free upgrades for lasting protection. We put on synthetic felt with plastic cap ring shank nails. We put on some of the best shingles in town, the GIF Timberline Lifetime HDZ Class 3 rated shingle. We install Storm Guard in all the valleys, around all the walls, and around all the vents. We install ridge vents everywhere we possibly can. Every project is backed by a 7-year labor warranty, and our Silver Pledge warranty through the manufacturer gives you total peace of mind. So if you want craftsmanship built on faith, family, and integrity, call Above All Roofing and Construction, where we put quality and care above all.
Such a pleasant evening here at Strake Jesuit. Let's see, what is the temperature looking like? It's down to 74 degrees. No wind to speak of, and there's so little humidity I can leave all my stuff here on my table at the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth, and it doesn't sweat. It's awesome.
Number 3.
You know, you just got to count your blessings. All right, for Strake Jesuit in the bottom of the 5th, they lead 7-3. It's Parker Owen, Noah Franshaw, and Jack Wegleiter. And the first pitch in there for a strike to Owen. He's 0 for 2, but he did reach on an error and steal a base. Harris on for his first full inning of work, we presume, and the next pitch comes in. The count is now 1-1. Righty versus righty. The pitch to Parker Owen, and he hits one high in the air, foul, and it hits the net beyond the dugout, out of anyone's reach. So Owen was pinch hit for the last time he came up, but if you're familiar with the high school game, then they have kind of more liberalized rules, so someone can come in for you. Charlie Pesic pinch hit for him, and now Owen is back in the batting order. Here's the 1-2, and he sprays that one foul over on the right side. Almost reached Clay Stadium, but I think it hit the top part of the net. They might need to rename that stadium Johnny Abair Stadium. Here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat. Slicing into foul ground. Long run by Houston. Nice effort, but he couldn't get there. Meanwhile, the count is 1-2. Houston, Robbins, and Gaetti all went after that foul ball. Good effort, all. Blood and guts. Do anything you can to get an out. All right, 1-2 to Owen. Fouls one off again. Trying to get him out is like trying to get David Eckstein out. We all remember what happened back in 2005 in Game 5 against the Cardinals. Eckstein, they couldn't get him out, and Lynn Lidge served it up to Albert. Wow. Okay. Here's the 1-2. Curveball fouled off. By the way, what people tend to forget, that Albert Pujols home run in Game 5 back in 2005 in the NLCS when the Astros were still in the National League, that didn't end the series. The Astros won the series. They just had to go back to St. Louis and burn Roy Oswalt, and he couldn't pitch until they were down 2-0 in the World Series to the White Sox. Okay, anyway, 2-2 the count on Parker Owen. He's really been battling. Harris brings it. Another foul ball. This is an Eckstein-like at-bat. Some people are clapping, and I think that it's either all or nothing. Everybody should be clapping or nobody should be. And another foul ball back to the net. This is the kind of at-bat that you need in a critical state playoff game, which I think Strake Jesuit is very capable of getting to this year. And that hit him. How about that? He earns a hit by pitch. Didn't hit him hard. He's all right. He's going to live.
Next up, the left fielder, number 5.
But when your number 8 hitter goes up there, I didn't count his foul balls, but I think he fouled it back at least a half a dozen times. That is the kind of thing that can prolong a rally, that can make a difference in a life-changing baseball game. I don't want to be overly dramatic, but it can. All right, Noah Franshaw, the left fielder, stands in with the runner at first and nobody out. 7-3, Strake Jesuit on top of George Ranch. And Strake batting in the home half of the 5th. Franshaw still waiting on the first pitch after that throw over. He tried to bunt, came up empty, and now they got him hung up. Owen is hung up between first and second, and Morton runs him down and tags him in the back. One away.
Owen is out for the first out of the inning.
So that goes down officially as a caught stealing. Now Noah Franshaw won't be thinking about bunting. Unless he really likes parades. All right, 0-1 the count on Franshaw. Harris brings it. Ground ball through the left side, past to diving Bruce, or rather Pilchick, and also past to diving Morton. Morton actually slowed it down, but it's an infield hit. With one away, Franshaw is at first, and now Jack Weglighter. For Weglighter, this is his first look at Austin Harris, because after he drew a walk, Collier was replaced by Harris. So Weglighter meet Harris. Righty versus lefty, first pitch, strike at the knees. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch. Way outside, Lovelace flags it down. Harris shakes off a sign, now steps off. Back on real quickly like it was a subway platform. Throw over, safely back in is Franshaw. Short lead by Franshaw. Pitch to Weglighter. Tailing fastball misses outside, and the count is 2-1. Harris takes a long look in there. Ready to bring the 2-1 to Weglighter. Upstairs, 3-1. Harris is a senior. 3-1 the count. Weglighter took a big rip at it, came up empty. It's 3-2. One out, bottom of the 5th. Strake Jesuit batting and leading 7-3, looking to improve their district record to 2-0. Another throw over, and that was close. Houston applies the tag, but Franshaw got back in. There's an odd number of teams in the district in which these two clubs compete, and Strake Jesuit had nobody to play in week 1. So this is just their second district game. There's another throw over, and again it's close. So George Ranch split with Foster. Now they are 1-2 in their district games, and they've got to make a comeback if they are to avoid falling to 1-3. Here goes Franshaw. Pitch is down and in, and it's ball 4. Franshaw thinks he has a stolen base. Not really.
Next up, the center fielder, number 2, Silas Newport.
Silas Newport is up. He's 1 for 3, but when he came up in the 4th, he greeted Austin Harris with a smash off the right field wall on the fly. Harris steps off. He's not ready yet. Or actually, Newport, I think, called time. The Rice commit in the left-handed batter's box is ready. Pitch on the way. And it's smashed past Morton into left center field, and coming around third and scoring is Franshaw. And coming around third is Weglighter. The relay throw will never get him. He slides in head first, and it is 9-3. Strake Jesuit on a 2-run single. Make it a double by Silas Newport.
Newport with a double in the gap.
Well, this Strake Jesuit team is tough to deal with.
Number 10, Elijah Gassett, number 10.
As we said early on, they are ranked number 15 in the latest TexasHighSchoolBaseball.com poll, sponsored by Diamond Pro. Raul Garcia Ramo, I think this is his 18th year as their head coach. He's got 432 wins. So if he could get 18 more, wouldn't that be cool to get 450? And maybe one at Round Rock. Okay, Elijah Gassett now, first pitch swinging, high into the air, foul on the left side, out of play. Well, George Ranch was feeling pretty good after 2.5 innings. They were up 3-0, and now they're down 9-3 to this very strong team. But still, they have out-hit Strake Jesuit 9-8. Here's the pitch. Big rip, and Gassett comes up empty. It's 0-2. Newport has been a real show-off tonight with the double off the wall. Actually, it was a single off the wall. He hit it so hard he couldn't get to second. He just hit a double, so he's got a single and a double. Late swing, nice spoil by Gassett. Ball goes back to the net. He's still down 0-2. Gassett is ready. Harris brings it. And that hits him in the foot. Ouch. Let's see. Second hit by pitch by Harris. Second of the inning. So you got runners at first and second. And now Coach Cobbs is coming out, and Harris is going to be replaced. And we'll step aside here on VypeLCISD.com, and we'll see who the new pitcher is.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The new pitcher for George Ranch is junior right-hander Luke Tanner, number 16. So he doesn't exactly inherit an ideal situation. He's got runners at first and second, and he will face Nico Broyles. So Harris came in with, with Collier having faced one hitter in the fourth. So Harris faced 10 hitters, and now it'll be Luke Tanner. He faced 11. So the first one that Tanner's going to face is Broyles. Broyles, he clearly spends plenty of time in the weight room, so sun's out, guns out, even though the sun is down. Likes to show everybody those arms. All right, here we go. Tanner comes set with runners at first and second, and the first pitch to Broyles is down low for a ball, and he gets away from Lovelace, and the runners move up. So that'll have to be a pass ball. Newport is at third. Gassett is at second. Two runners in scoring position for Broyles. It's already 9-3. Strake Jesuit on top, and they have to be thinking, hey, why not run rule this thing? So if they can push across 4 more runs, we're done. Pitch to Broyles. Way wide. Nice smother by Lovelace. So the runners stay where they are, but the count is 2-0. Broyles 0 for 2 with a walk. I'm sure he wants a hit right here. Still just 1 out in this bottom of the 5th. Tanner brings it. It's a ground ball up the middle, and it's the shortstop, Morton, coming home, and the ball gets away from the catcher, so safe at home. It is now 10-3, Strake Jesuit. Morton came across the plate. He got there when the ball did. It got out of Lovelace's glove, and Morton then had to, Silas Newport, my bad. So Silas Newport, he didn't get the plate the first time when he kind of collided with the catcher Lovelace. Meanwhile, Gassett goes to third base. And now it is Luke Loving to bat, and Broyles is being run for at first base. Masonette is running for him. First pitch swinging, and Loving fouls it back into the net. So it is 10-3. And now Strake Jesuit needs 3 more runs, and they can end this game before we complete 5 innings. So give Broyles a hit. There was no error made, and Newport hustled home and scored that 10th run. Big rip and a miss by Loving. The count on him is 0-2. Fake throw to third base. Throw back to first. Now they've got the runner it's Masonette between first and second in a hot box, and they tag him out. That's the second out. Meanwhile, Gassett is still at third base, and now with 2 away, Luke Loving waiting for another 0-2 pitch. Tanner to Loving. Here it comes. Bounces in. Lovelace blocks it with his chest protector. Keeps it in front. And the count is now 1-2. So I think that right there you had a matter of Tanner trusting his catcher, saying, I can spike one of these. Maybe he'll swing at it. But he held off. 1-2. Loving. Little chopper towards second. Robbins charges and throws over to first in time to Houston. And another run comes in. Actually, 3 in the inning that upped the ante. It is now 10-3, and we'll go to the top of the 6th. 10-3, Strake Jesuit over George Ranch.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Well, Grady McGrenera can pitch a complete game and pitch less than 7 innings. He's already pitched 5, so here he is for the 6th with his team leading 10-3. So if he can put another 0 on the scoreboard, as he has for innings 2, 4, and 5, and then his team can come through with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 6th, then that would be that. So here we go. Aiden Collier, though he's no longer the pitcher of record, he is going to stand in and lead off. Then it'll be Charlie Ford and Clayton Gaetti. First pitch chopped toward first base, but it goes foul before Ben Marshall can get to it. 0-1. Collier wears the 2 black batting gloves and chokes up on the bat, maybe an inch of handle showing between his hands and the knob. Next pitch is a beauty from McGrenera. You know, I said it right every time until now. 0-2 the count. McGrenera always from the stretch, brings it. High pop-up on the infield. It's the second baseman, Parker Owen, calling for it. And he battles it a little bit. And his shades, which he's still wearing for no apparent reason, they fall off his head, but he makes the catch.
Next up is number 9, the center fielder, Charlie Ford.
Charlie Ford's had a great offensive night. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. But unfortunately, he didn't have anyone on base to drive in when he hit those. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. He was trying to go downtown, or at least to St. Agnes. McGrenera trying to pitch the 6th inning. Here's a ground ball toward short. Charged by Wegleiter, throws across to Marshall in time. 2 quick outs in the 6th.
Marshall for out number 2.
That one goes 6-3. Now Clayton Gaetti, the right fielder.
Next up, number 25.
Correction.
Matthew Lewis.
It is Matthew Lewis rather than Gaetti. He's pinch hitting for Gaetti. Righty hitting Lewis. McGrenera, first pitch is the fastball high. You could tell by the pop of the mitt that he's throwing it pretty well. Here's the 1-0. Lewis goes after that one, and he can't catch up to the heater. 1-1. McGrenera brings it down and away, trying to get the chase. Lewis left it alone. Lewis is a senior. McGrenera brings it up and away, 2-2. No, the scoreboard says 3-1. I could have sworn it was 2-2. I think it is. Lewis digs in. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. And I guess it was indeed 3-1. Now it's 3-2. Otra vez, mi mal, lo siento mucho. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's high, and so McGrenera, kind of upset with himself, walks the number 9 hitter with 2 outs and the bases empty. Now Lucas Robbins, still looking for his first hit.
Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Lucas Robbins.
McGrenera doesn't waste much time looking at the runner, but the first pitch gets away from Broyles, and as a result, Lewis takes second. So that'll have to be a pass ball. He wasn't going with the pitch. But the count is 0-1 because Robbins swung at it. Swing and a miss at the heater. And he's going to do a little soul searching before he gets ready for the 0-2. McGrenera comes set. Looks back at second twice. Now brings it. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And the strikeout of Robbins retires the side. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, and Strake Jesuit leading 10-3 will try to score 3 times and go to Denny's or wherever they want to go. We'll be back on VypeLCISD.com here in the Texan Hyundai broadcast booth. Glad to have you with us at all. Always remember that we bring you multiple games every week. Some are video streams, some are on web radio. And next week on Tuesday, we've got the Tomas Gators making their debut on VypeLCISD.com. They'll take on the Lamar Consolidated Mustangs. And then 1 week from tonight, we'll be back on the video stream as Foster visits Fulshire. We'll be right back.
First Tire and Automotive has been putting your health and your car safety first for over 20 years. First Tire and Automotive stands for family, integrity, reliability, service, and trust. That's why Fort Bend families know take your vehicle to First Tire and Automotive first and forever. Check out the website for service and savings at firsttireandauto.com. Make your appointment today. With 4 great locations, Eldridge, First Colony, Greatwood, and now in Cinco Ranch, there's one around the corner from you. All 4 stores now open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education. From budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, here we go with the bottom of the 6th. David Rayom steps up there for Strake Jesuit. He'll be followed by Ben Marshall and Parker Owen. Here's the pitch, and it's Tanner on the mound. He took over in the last inning, and he bounces that one in. The count now 2-0 on David Rayom. He's 1 for 3 with a single, and he scored a run. That came in the 5-run third for Strake Jesuit when they took the lead, and they've been in the lead ever since. Then the 2-0 pitch bounces in, and it's 3-0. Tanner starts the windup. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is not close, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Rayom to start the bottom of the 6th.
First baseman, number 22, Ben Marshall. Number 22.
Ben Marshall. He's looking to be the second of 3 runs to score this inning, so they can complete a run rule victory. But the first pitch to him from Tanner is a strike on the inner half of the plate. He's doubled and walked tonight. Tanner brings it. Breaking ball down, and it's 1-1. We have a sliver of a crescent moon shining over the left field wall. Here's the 1-1. And it's inside, 2-1. Tanner, the third pitcher of the night for George Ranch. They're down 10-3. Marshall hits a high chopper. It's Pilchick at third. Can't get his man at second. He waited too long to throw it to first, and everybody's safe.
Marshall beats it out. Now
that was just a matter of the chop being in the air so long.
Owen.
So really, I think Pilchick did the best he could. The ball was just in the air a long time, and this is a hard field turf surface, and the ball went way up in the air. So now the game-ending run comes to the plate. It's Parker Owen. Hit by a pitch, reached on an error, grounded out, stole a base. Nobody out, bottom of the 6th, and it's a 10-3 game already. Strake Jesuit on top. Tanner brings it to Owen. That's down and out for a ball, backhanded by Lovelace. Here comes the next one to Owen. Missed inside, 2-0. Strake Jesuit tonight has looked like a team that should be ranked number 15 in the state. And they appear to be on their way to improving to 15 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. For those of you in Rio Linda, there are ties in non-district or pre-district baseball in Texas. Probably most states. Well, the 2-0 pitch came in wide, and it's 3-0. Would Owen possibly get the green light on 3-0? Nope. Takes it for a strike. 3-1. After Owen, it's Noah Franshaw. Tanner kicks and comes home with it. Down and in, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Walk, infield hit, walk. Noah Franshaw can be the sort of hero. I mean, there's little doubt about the outcome of the game. It's just when it ends. And the wind really starting to pick up, and it's blowing out toward center field, it feels like. Franshaw ready, up and in, ball 1 from Tanner. After Franshaw, it's Jack Weglighter. Pitch from Tanner, big rip and a miss, and it's 1-1. It feels like the wind has shifted and it seems to be blowing out. Little toward right center. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Franshaw is down 1-2. Tanner trying to fight through this inning and push it to a 7th. But there's nobody out and the bases are loaded. It is 10-3, Strake Jesuit trying to end it. The infield is in tight. Pitch to Franshaw. Sliced down the left field line, but it will land foul by about 3 feet. And it's 1-2. George Ranch competing hard, trying to keep hope alive. The 1-2 to Franshaw. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. That is Tanner's first strikeout. 1 out.
Shortstop number 17, Jack Weglighter, number 17.
All right, Jack Weglighter wants to end it right here. His first shot at Tanner. Righty versus lefty. Here it comes. Checked his swing. Swing a strike on the inside corner near the knees. Good movement on that one from Tanner. Infield still drawn in. They'll come home on a ground ball. Here's a breaking ball that sails outside, and it's 1-1. Tanner gets the sign, ready to work to Weglighter. Pitch on the way. Oh, he was trying to go to St. Agnes with that one. Came up empty. It's 2-1. The wind picking up. It is blowing out toward right center. Weglighter is a left-handed potential power hitter. That pitch is down and away. 2-2. I hear someone chanting, "Don't pop it up" over there. What are you doing? They're Strake Jesuit fans. Oh, it's his teammates. Now that makes sense. Guys show that they love each other by insulting and berating each other. Pitch is downstairs. The count goes to 3-2. And Tanner taps himself on the clavicle as if to say, "My bad." I've never really understood why pitchers need to do that. If a pitch misses the strike zone, well, who else's bad would it be? All right, 3-2. Bases loaded. One out. Swing and a miss, and down goes Wegleiter, and he's really mad at himself for missing an opportunity. And what a performance by Tanner. He gets 2 straight strikeouts.
Now batting the center fielder.
And now Silas Newport. Wow, what a night he's had.
Number 2.
Singled off the right field wall. Hit a double. Scored twice. What a night. Tanner has not quit competing. He has gotten 2 strikeouts. What'll happen here? Well, looks like Newport was swinging for the fences. He came up empty. 0-1. Rosie Bega is inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters. She's wondering, will we have a 7th inning? We'll find out soon. Here's the pitch. And that is scorched toward right field. It is off the scoreboard and gone. Grand slam home run to end it. 14-3. Strake Jesuit. Wow, what a big win for them after winning 13-2. Oh, wow, that's Silas Newport. I'm glad he's going to Rice because my mom went to Rice. She was one of the first ever female students. Whoa, Nelly. I'm impressed with that Silas Newport. Wow. All right, we'll step aside and be back with the totals after this on VypeLCISD.com.
Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
It starts with learning the value of saving. We're here when dreams take flight, when it's time to build your future, and when it's time to enjoy the moments you've worked for. BVSCU empowers members to make smart financial decisions through education, from budgeting and saving to identity protection and smart buying strategies. We serve our communities through partnerships with local schools and charitable organizations. For every step and every moment, we are here. Your credit union for life, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union. Educate, partner, serve. Federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, so Strake Jesuit gets the win as Silas Newport blasts a grand slam to make it a run rule game. They win 14-3. So for the George Ranch Longhorns, 3 runs on 9 hits, and they committed 3 errors. And for Strake Jesuit, which looked every bit as good as advertised, you know, that's just an expression. You know what I mean. They were awesome. 14 runs on 8 hits, and they committed no errors. And so they improve to 15-3-1 on the season, and George Ranch has its work cut out for them. You know, it may be that when we get to the end of this district schedule, maybe no one will beat Strake Jesuit, and things will even out a bit when George Ranch is playing other teams. Foster and Fulshire have yet to take on Strake Jesuit. But I'm looking forward to seeing what those contests yield as far as a result. So for Rosie Bega, I really appreciate you, Rosie. She's inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters, and for everybody else who is a part of this broadcast, Roger Smith saying thank you so much for being with us. Again, our final score, Strake Jesuit 14 and George Ranch 3. Good night, everybody, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday at 5:45 p.m. as we get you ready for the game between Tomas and Lamar Consolidated. Good night, and God bless from Strake Jesuit.